Hello Nigerians, here welcome back to my channel and thank you for joining me today. So a House of Rep member has actually proposed a bill that will stop certain candidates, that's presidential candidates, from contesting in the upcoming 2027 general election here in Nigeria. And I'm gonna break it down for you. So the bill aims to stop candidates from geopolitical zones who have already produced the president of Nigeria previously. Zones like South-South that produced Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Zones like Southwest where we have Obasanjo and recently Ahmed Bola Tinubu, as well as Northwest where Buhari and Yaradua came from. So these zones will not be eligible to contest in 2027 election if that bill is passed. And what does this mean for Ahmed Bola Tinubu? It simply means that he will not be eligible to contest come 2027. And this is a win-win for P2B and the Labour Party. So the truth is that some geopolitical zones in Nigeria have been marginalized over the years, preventing them from being part of the growth and development in Nigeria. And that's why Nigeria, the development is very, very slow. In fact, we are not developing because if this bill is passed, it's going to make sure that our politicians from other geopolitical zones, apart from the ones I mentioned previously, are part of this development. And it's going to make them to be more careful about what they are doing, because it is an opportunity given to your geopolitical zone to, bring to the table what you have. And when you fail, people from your geopolitical zones, they will not be happy. And it simply means that your geopolitical zone has actually failed in that regard. Anyway, I want you to comment what you think in the comment section. Do you think that is a very good move? Do you think that will, improve what we have here in Nigeria at the moment? So moving on from that, Ahmed Bola Tinubu actually traveled to Qatar with his people. Even his son was part of the that movement. So he actually traveled to Qatar to make some business deal and bring investors into Nigeria. But something actually happened. Oftentimes people say, with all these things that we are saying, we are demarketing Nigeria and we are presenting Nigeria to be bad in the sight of other countries and other nations, and that will prevent investors from coming to Nigeria. But you forget that Ahmed Bola Tinubu has been the major person demarketing Nigeria. Apart from the fact that his economic policies have stopped investors, even most of them are now leaving Nigeria. Most of the multinational industries are now companies are now leaving Nigeria. I made a video on that. You see it. Apart from that, he went to Qatar to disgrace Nigeria and to demarket Nigeria. I'm going to show you how the former aviation minister has reacted to what Ahmed Bola Tinubu said in Qatar. But before I show you that video, let me make this comment and then say what he actually said in Qatar. He actually, after the visit to Qatar, he actually told them that, they decided to strike a business deal here in Nigeria. And he said something. So he told them that if during their investment here in Nigeria, that any politician asks them to bribe them, that they should report that particular politician to him. I know that he's trying to make sure that the corruption in Nigeria is actually curbed. But saying this, that if a politician wants to bribe them, they should report that politician to him, it's simply out of it. In fact, he's actually telling the whole world that Nigerian politicians are corrupt. And in fact, that his government particularly is corrupt. That he's working with corrupt people who would seek bribe at any particular point in time. You see, there is no better way to demarket Nigeria than what Ahmed Bola Tinubu actually did. There are better ways to, convey that particular information. There are better ways to say that particular thing that he wants to say. But choosing to use that word, bribe, if any of the politicians in Nigeria tries to bribe them during their course of investment, you see, it's a very big problem. And other countries are watching. Other multinational companies are looking at what Nigeria is doing and what Ahmed Bola Tinubu said. This will actually prevent them from investing because they will begin to see Nigeria as, bunch of corrupt people. And that is the problem. I want you to listen to what the former aviation minister said, and after that, we'll just wrap up the video. Thank you for watching.
The investment arrangement that we've made, because it has happened in the Halliburton scandal. We've seen a lot of scandals in this country where investment drive comes into the country, but it's being stifled by corruption issues. You don't think that it's learned from the past to say, do not allow all of what we have heard in the past to affect your judgment about investing in Nigeria?
Hell no. Did you hear the president of Italy comment about the Ajib bribery case in Nigeria? That a business goes to do their business and spends bribes. It's not the business of the government of Italy. It's not the business of the government of Nigeria. The people that are caught doing it should be punished. And we have processes for punishing it. No foreign investor will be happy to know that he needs to talk to the president to be able to reverse an issue of corruption or bribery. Nobody in the world would like to do that. The fact that Halliburton, you mentioned, was a case. Have you heard any precedent from the country of Halliburton coming out to speak about the Halliburton case? We had the Enron case. Americans went and passed a law and, said, these are things that we should stop companies from doing going forward. When the banks collapsed, they passed the Sarbanes-Oxley law saying remove, investment banking from commercial banking. Countries, presidents take action to systematically solve a problem, not whistleblowing and catching thieves.
So you think that the optics for Nigeria...
I don't think the optics for Nigeria... It's not good optics for Nigeria. It's not good optics for Nigeria. I hope that in future he will not say this again. He should find a way to reverse himself and just say, these are some of the things. I just want to show you that we are on top of the situation. But the truth of the matter is that Nigerian banks are operating around the world. Nigerian banks are operating in the US. UBA has a banking license in the US. GT Bank has a banking license in the UK. Why are you going to make people believe that Nigerians are bribe takers? Why would the president of Nigeria condone that? He shouldn't. Because this is a way of signaling to the world, yes, we are endemically corrupt, or as they said, fantastically corrupt, and I'm here to solve the problem. But that's not what the world wants to hear. They want to hear that when you take a case to judiciary in Nigeria, it will last about 3 months till you get judgment. They don't want to hear that you will spend 9 months in the court, 2 years in the court looking for judgment. They don't want to hear that you need to go and see a judge for you to get judgment. They don't want to hear that the police in Nigeria will ask you to bring money to go and investigate. Those are the issues that bother any foreign investor.
If you look
about the president catching the thieves.
Yeah, you're perhaps the optics for you don't think that it sits well for the image of Nigeria globally. There are also the communication of even the president had said it to the Qatari government or leaders in Qatar. Maybe it shouldn't have gotten out of the room. Maybe it shouldn't have been communicated.
This should be like a dinner table talk, just saying, if you have any issues, if you have any obstacles, but not the word bribe. It could be obstacles. It may not just be bribe. It may just be, obstacles. We have obstacles like the issue of Tinapa that the custom took a strong position against. It wasn't a case of bribery. So some foreign investors come to Nigeria and some